Hello there, it's Ina here and welcome to my art room. So here is another art journal page for you. I started with a chipboard page and this great magazine image here. I love the page, I love the guy eating his sandwich and the tall lady, and I want to use this frame to put him as a focal point. Now the idea about the frame I got from a video by my friend Andrea Kidman. She just recently made a real fun greeting card using this frame technique. And if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. The link to it will be down in my box. It is definitely one of the positive perks of the internet, of YouTube and so on, that you can pick up so many wonderful ideas and renew your inspiration by watching videos by fellow artists. Now the frame is simply cut from a piece of a file folder, so it's sturdy. I colored it, as you saw, just using acrylic paint, and now I am gluing it to the picture using my tacky glue. Next, I'm using glossy accent to outline the part of the figures which are outside the frame. This gives me a nice little boundary, makes it easier to color in the pieces and to also cut them out later on. So as soon as this is dry, I'm coloring in the figure using simple black acrylic paint and my paintbrush. And yes, my head is in the way again. This is an ongoing problem, which is really frustrating because I know it doesn't look great, but the camera is attached straight above my desk and it doesn't swivel in any other direction. I can zoom in and out, of course, but that does not solve the problem. My head usually turns up when I need to see something a little better and I have to get a little closer. Anyway, if you have a solution to this problem, please let me know. Next, I'm cutting away everything that's not in the frame or part of the figure. Now, after doing that, I realized that the effect is a little bit interrupted by the fact that the lady's skirt was black and therefore blends into the part I blackened out, and that wasn't the idea. So I'm just going to change her skirt color. I'm adding a little gesso to help me lay the color better, and then just use a permanent marker in red and color in the skirt. This will also bring a little extra interest into the frame, and it matches the guy's tie. To seal in everything and to make this magazine paper a little more sturdy, I'm adding some matte Mod Podge to the whole piece. This of course needs to dry, but then combined with glossy accent outline, it gives the piece a bit of a 3D effect. Next, I am working on the background. I'm adding gesso, and I had the idea of not adding it everywhere, but rather give the image a bit of a fuzzy outline and maybe adding a little frame. That all gets kind of covered up later on, but it was a good idea. And may have worked if I didn't go crazy with my palette knife. After the gesso is all dry, I use different colors of acrylic paints. First some gray, then some very bright silver metallic, and then some red 3D stencil paint, which is also a little bit metallic and shiny. Now lately I have been working with my palette knife quite a bit. I really enjoy the bit of randomness and unpredictability it gives when you layer your colors, and I think it works great for this type of background. All right, let's see what's next. Well, still coloring. By the way, this page is going to look nothing like Andrea's beautiful card. I just borrowed the idea. Hers is very colorful and pretty. You really have to take a look at it. Finally, I'm finished coloring, and I add a white frame on top of my black frame, just using a gel pen, a white gel pen, just a thin line, just to bring it a bit more into focus and to see it better against all the black I added. All right, here you can see what it looks like now. The next step is adding a little bit of stamping to the background, Chival ink and the script stamp. And then I will also use this little chevron stamp, as I want to bring a little interruption into this whole page, as it's going to stay fairly simple. I'm not going to add a whole lot more to the background. Sometimes less is more, and in this case I really don't want to take away from the main image. Next, it's time to glue down my magazine piece, and I use tacky glue for that, and it fits right between those two chevron stamps, and I think it breaks up the page a bit and gives it some extra interest. Next, I spell out the word priorities using little cardboard letters. Now, these are not self-adhesive, so it's a little bit fiddly, but eventually I get them down fairly straight. Why I picked the word priorities? Well, I'll let you figure that out. And next, it's time for a simple border. I use my brown Pitt Pen Big Brush marker for that. And now the ink on the marker is permanent, but you have a few seconds to smudge it out, which gives this fuzzy effect and always looks really cool. Next, the shading. For this, I use a charcoal pencil and a little blending stump, and I just go all around the image, and it creates a bit more dimension. And I think that brings me pretty much to the end of this page. I did not add as much detailing as I sometimes do. A few more white lines with my gel pen on the letters, because I think this image is just so cool and I wanted to keep it simple. Thanks for watching. See you soon again. Bye bye for now.